Part 1, Life of Adam and Eve. I'm going to be looking over here. Over here is where I saw what I'm going to show you at the end of the video. Or you can look all through the woods, see if you see anything while I'm reading. The Life of Adam and Eve, also known in its Greek version as the Apocrypha of Moses. In a Jewish group of writings, it recounts the lives of Adam and Eve from after their expulsion from the Garden of Eden to their deaths. It provides more detail about the fall of man, including Eve's version of the story. Satan explains that he rebelled when God commanded him to bow down to Adam. After Adam dies, he and all his descendants are promised a resurrection. The extant version comes from the 1st to the 5th centuries AD, but there is a widespread consensus the original work was composed in the 1st century or earlier. This is the story of Adam and Eve after they had gone out of paradise. And Adam knew his wife Eve and went upwards to the sun rising and abode there 18 years and 2 months. And he conceived and bore 2 sons, who is called Cain and Abel. And after this, Adam and Eve were with one another, and while they were sleeping, Eve said to Adam, her Lord, My Lord, Adam, behold, I have seen in a dream this night the blood of my son Abel, being poured into the mouth of his brother Cain. And he went on drinking it without pity, but he begged him to leave him a little of it. Yet he did not listen to him, but gulped down the whole, nor did it stay in his mouth, but came out of his mouth. And Adam said, Let us arise and go see what has happened to them. I fear lest the adversary may be selling them somewhere. And they both went and found Abel, murdered by the hand of his brother Cain. And God says to the chief messenger Michael, Say to Adam, Do not reveal the secret that you know to Cain your son, for he is a son of wrath. But do not grieve, for I will give you another son in his stead. He will show to you all that you will do. Do not tell him anything. Thus spoke the chief messenger to Adam. But he kept the word in his heart, and with him also Eve, though they grieved concerning their son Abel. And after this, Adam knew his wife Eve, and she conceived and bore Seth. And Adam said to Eve, See, we have begotten a son in place of Abel, whom Cain slew. Let us give glory and sacrifice to God. And Adam begot 30 sons and 30 daughters, and Adam lived 930 years. And he fell sick and cried with a loud voice and said, Let all my sons come to me, and I may see them before I die. And all assembled, for the earth was divided into 3 parts. And his son Seth said to him, Father Adam, what is your complaint? And he says, My children, I am crushed by the burden of trouble. And they say to him, What is trouble? And Seth answered and said to him, Have you called to mind, Father, the fruit of paradise of which you used to eat, and have been grieved in yearning for it? If this be so, tell me. I will go and bring you fruit from paradise, for I will set dung on my head, and I will weep and pray that the Lord will listen to me and send his messenger, and bring me a plant from paradise, and I will bring it to you, that your trouble may cease from you. Adam says to him, No, my son Seth, but I have much sickness and trouble. Seth says to him, And how has this come on you? And Adam said to him, When God made us, me and your mother, through whom also I die, he gave us power to eat of every tree which is in paradise, but concerning that one only, he charged us not to eat of it, and through this one we are to die. And the hour drew near of the messengers who were guarding your mother to go up and worship the Lord, and I was far from her. And the enemy knew that she was alone, and gave to her, and she ate of the tree of which she had been told not to eat. Then she also gave me to eat. And God was angry with us, and the Lord came into paradise and called me in a terrible voice and said, Adam, where are you? And why do you hide from my face? Will the house be able to hide itself from its builder? And he says to me, Since you have abandoned my covenant, I have brought on your body 72 strokes. The trouble of the first stroke is a pain of the eyes. The second stroke, an affection of the hearing, and likewise in turn all the strokes will befall you. As he said this to his sons, Adam groaned sore and said, What will I do? I am in great distress. And Eve wept and said, My lord Adam, rise up and give me half of your trouble, and I will endure it, for it is on my account that this has happened to you. On my account you are beset with toils and troubles. But Adam said to Eve, Arise and go with my son Seth near to paradise, and put earth on your heads, and weep and pray to God to have mercy on me, and to send his messenger to paradise, and give me of the tree out of which the oil flows, and bring it to me. And I will anoint myself, and will have rest from my complaint. Then Seth and Eve went toward paradise, and Eve saw her son, and a wild beast assailing him. And Eve wept and said, Woe is me! If I come to the day of the resurrection, all those who have sinned will curse me, saying, Eve has not kept her commandment of God. And she spoke to the beast, You wicked beast, do you not fear to fight with the image of God? How is your mouth open? How are your teeth made strong? How did you not call to mind your subjection? For God ago, for long ago, you were made subject to the image of God. Then the beast cried out and said, It is not your concern, Eve, your greed and your wailing, but your own. For it is from you that the rule of the beast has arisen. How is your mouth opened to eat of the tree concerning which God enjoined you not to eat of it? On this account our nature has also been transformed. Now therefore you cannot endure it if I begin to reprove you. Then Seth speaks to the beast, Close your mouth and be silent, and stand off from the image of God until the day of judgment. Then the beast says to Seth, Behold, I stand off from the image of God, and he went to his lair. And Seth went with Eve near paradise, and they wept there and prayed to God to send his messenger and give them the oil of mercy. And God sent the chief messenger Michael, and he spoke to Seth, Seth, man of God, do not weary yourself with prayers and entreaties concerning the tree which flows with oil to anoint your father Adam. For it will not be yours now, but in the end of times. Then will all flesh be raised up from Adam, and that until that great day, all that will be of the holy people. Then the delights of paradise will be given to them, and God will be in their midst. And they will no longer sin before his face, for the evil heart will be taken from them, and there will be given them a heart understanding the good and to serve God only. But you go to your father, for the term of his life has been fulfilled, and he will live 3 days from today, and will die. But when his soul is departing, you will behold the awful scene of his passing. Thus spoke the messenger, and departed from them. And Seth and Eve came to the hut where Adam was laid. And Adam says to Eve, Eve, what have you worked in us? You have brought on us great wrath, which is death, lording it over all our race. And he says to her, call all of our children and our children's children, and tell them the manner of our transgression. And Eve says to them, hear, all my children and children's children, and I will relate to you how the enemy deceived us. It befell that we were guarding paradise, each of us the portion allotted to us from God. Now I guarded in my lot the west and the south, but the devil went to Adam's lot, where the male creatures were, for God divided the creatures. All of the males he gave to your father, and all of the females he gave to me. And the devil spoke to the serpent, saying, rise up, come to me, and I will tell you a word whereby you may have profit. And he arose and came to him, and the devil says to him, I hear that you are wiser than all the beasts, and I have come to counsel you. Why do you eat of Adam's tares, and not of paradise? Rise up, and we will cause him to be cast out of paradise, even as we were cast out through him. The serpent says to him, I fear lest the Lord be angry with me. The devil says to him, do not fear, only be my vessel, and I will speak through your mouth words to deceive him. And instantly he hung himself from the wall of paradise. And when the messengers ascended to worship God, then Satan appeared in the form of a messenger, and sang hymns like the messengers. And I bent over the wall, and saw him like a messenger. But he says to me, are you Eve? And I said to him, I am. He said, what are you doing in paradise? And I said to him, God sent us to guard and eat of it. The devil answered through the mouth of the serpent, you do well, but you do not eat of every plant. And I said, yes, we eat of all, save one only, which is in the midst of paradise, concerning which God charged us not to eat of it. For he said to us, on the day on which you eat of it, you will die the death. Then the serpent says to me, may God live, but I am grieved on your account. For I would not have you ignorant, but arise, come here, listen to me, and eat, and mind the value of that tree. But I said to him, I fear lest God be angry with me, as he told us. And he says to me, do not fear, for as soon as you eat of it, you too will be as God, in that you will know good and evil. But God perceived this, that you would be like him, so he envied you and said, you will not eat of it. No, give heed to the plant, and you will see its great glory. Yet I feared to take the fruit, and he says to me, come here, and I will give it to you. Follow me. And I opened to him, and he walked a little way, then turned and said to me, I have changed my mind, and I will not give you to eat until you swear to me to give also to your husband. And I said, what sort of oath will I swear to you? Yet what I know, I say to you, by the throne of the Master, and by the cherubim, and by the tree of life, I will also give my husband to eat. And when he had received the oath from me, he went and poured on the fruit the poison of his wickedness, which is lust, the root of the root and the beginning of every sin. And he bent the branch on the earth, and I took the fruit and ate. The end of part 1.